We've got a minute till class starts. Welcome to
Yes.
everyone. If you're joining us for culinary medicine, you're in for a treat if this is your first one, or for the people who've been with us for years and know Chef Alyssa. We always learn something the fourth Thursday of each month, and we're down, we got 3 of these classes left after
That's
this.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're
Starting to
really
wind
glad
down
you
the year.
joined us. Yep. And so we're
Exciting.
happy. We want to have you get excited about some plant-based cooking, and hopefully you all got the recipe. And Heather's going to go over that in a minute. But welcome,
Hmm.
and there we go, Heather. It's 5 o'clock. Let's
Okay,
do
five
it.
o'clock.
I heard a ding.
Let's let's jump in. Yeah, I hear the ding.
I
So
heard
for
a
those of you
ding.
that might be new today, these are just some housekeeping guidelines here. Just for convenience, everybody's microphones have been muted. So if you do want to share or ask questions, please do that through the chat feature, and we'll be watching for that. I'll speak to that in just a minute too. But here's the team that's with you today. So we've got the amazing Allison over there on the Big Island. We've got Chef Alyssa, the star of our show today. Right? She's a personal chef with over, it's got to be more than 25 years now, because
It's
I think we've
yeah.
been saying that for a while. So it's got to
You
be,
can you
you
can
know,
keep it.
yes, we can keep it. Lots of experience with
Yeah.
combining good
There we go.
flavor, good nutrition, and focusing on healthy vegetarian meals that taste good. And then we've got myself. I'm Heather Charles. I'm a wellness coach, and I'm here on Maui. So we've got quite the representation across the islands today. Um, so we're here in this culinary cooking class that's representing plant-based style of eating. And in case you're wondering, why might I want to embrace this style of eating? Well, there's some special things to it. One of them, and the most important one, I think, is that it's the only diet scientifically proven to prevent and reverse chronic disease, right? Food is medicine. It can prevent and reverse chronic diseases. So who doesn't want more of that? And what are we talking about? What types of foods are included in this? Well, this is food in its most natural form, closest to the way that it was grown, food that our ancestors would recognize as food. We're talking about fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes such as lentils and beans, nuts and seeds. And at the same time as we're celebrating those types of foods, we're also minimizing and reducing foods that contain a lot of refined white sugar, white flour, animal-derived foods, because all of these foods create really an excess load that our bodies are taxed with processing. So we want to eat like a nice, clean, natural diet as much as possible. And while that might not always be realistic, we have this simple phrase up here on the screen, which is eat food, not too much, and mostly plants. And this was coined by American author and a journalist who was extremely passionate about food. His name was Michael Pollan, and so we coined these words from him. Now, most of us know intuitively the vegetables are good for us. We've been told that since we were a very young age, and yet not a lot of us are used to eating them, and usually a barrier has been the perception that they don't taste good. They're a chore to eat. And today we really hope to shift that mindset and open you up to a new way of experiencing healthy food. So I do hope that we're going to plant some seeds of curiosity about healthier cooking. I'm also going to put a link in the chat to a video series that Stanford School of Medicine put together in 2016. It's called Food and Health. And that's just kind of a little extra, I don't really want to say homework, but if you're curious to learn more about this style of eating and why we want to be moving in this direction, this has a great series of 17 videos, short, 3 to 5 minutes each, that can give you really practical skills and information on how and why you might want to move in that direction. And then I want to turn your attention to some of the handouts that we had that was included in the links to your confirmation for this class. And one of them is the whole food plant-based eating resources. So this is what we call a healthy plate looks like in a plant-based format. So you notice there's lots of color on that plate looking back at you. We want to eat the rainbow. We want at least half of our plate to be dedicated to vegetables. And while that might seem daunting, I think you're going to see today how easy it can be to fit that in. And then we want a fourth of our plate dedicated to, in this case, it's a plant-based protein, such as cooked beans, lentil or tofu, and then we want to fill the other quarter with some whole grains. If you are interested in learning more about this healthy plate idea, we do offer a separate 90-minute virtual class taught by our registered dietitians called Get Your Plate in Shape, and we can talk more about that at the end of our time together today. Because we have so much cooking to do, so we want to get right to it. We are going to be pulling up each of the recipes that our chef's going to be preparing today as we go through each one, and then she can review the ingredients. And then just as a reminder, the links to those recipes can be found in your email invitation. Also want to acknowledge there's probably a range of people attending tonight. For some of you, it's your very first time. We're just happy to have you here, kind of go along for the ride today, just see what this is all about. And for others of you, you may be perfecting and refining this style of eating. So it's all about, we're here to support you with the knowledge and resources to move you in the direction that you choose at the pace that you choose. All of these recipes can be adaptable to your personal tastes and preferences. Feel free to put that into the chat if you have a question. If you want to get some ideas for that, we're happy to present those to Chef as we go along as well. So just congratulate yourself for being here and enjoy watching and learning. Anything you want to add, Allison?
I think you got it. Let's
All
get them
right.
to our recipes.
Okay, and here is just a quick screenshot of where those recipes can be found in that registration email. And we're going to be starting off today with the 3-bean salad, right, Chef?
Yes.
Okay, I'll pass the mic to you if you want to do a quick
Oh,
overview, and then
okay.
we're going to pull this PowerPoint down, you guys, and we're going to highlight all the cooking.
Okay. So this recipe has kidney beans, chickpeas, and cooked green beans, which are lightly blanched. And then to that, we're going to add a little bit of onion, green bell pepper, and then there's a nice vinaigrette that we will whisk together. And then nice and simple, we're just going to mix it in and stir it up and let it marinate and chill and the flavors absorb. And then you can use it at your leisure for lunchtime or as a side at dinner, but it's got a good amount of protein, great source of fiber, and lots of flavor.
Absolutely, and I should reemphasize our topic for tonight's class was what quick and easy meals. So we're hoping
Yeah.
everything today has just, not a lot of ingredients, can feel like something you could do even on a busy, weeknight, something like that. So let me
Yeah.
pull the PowerPoint down and we've got you highlighted.
Okay, very good. Well, I went ahead and, like I said, we've got kidney beans, chickpeas, and green beans. So I bought the green beans from the grocery store and I lightly blanched them. So we've got the green beans here. Then I just drained them and cut them into pieces. Yeah, they're a little more than 1 inch, so it can be however you like, whatever size. I'm just going to put this in a mixing bowl. Usually when I blanch green beans, I bring the water, I just do like a shallow amount of water in my pot. So like maybe 1 inch or less. And I put the green, bring it to a boil. I put the green beans in and I put the lid on and let it cook for about 3 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, depending upon how crunchy you like your green beans. And then I quickly drain it and let it cool. So that's the way I do it. Then I had, and this is, we were talking earlier before class, I have chickpeas that I soaked. These are my favorite chickpeas, just personally, that they cook up really nice and soft and plump. So I soaked them up overnight and then I pressure cooked them in my Instant Pot. So I have my 1 cup of chickpeas. Now, just an aside, Allison was mentioning how you like cannellini beans, right? I think that's you were
Yes.
saying before. Yeah,
Yeah.
there you can also use cannellini beans instead of chickpeas in this recipe. So just something if you like that. I love cannellini beans too. They're like soft kidney beans. So then we have kidney beans, the red kidney beans here. They're like soft white kidney beans. Excuse me, I should clarify a little bit more. So we have the red kidney beans. And I also wanted to note that, the recipe calls for 1 cup of beans. And if you're going to use canned beans, you could rinse and drain them well. And one of the things I do if I still have leftover beans from something that I'm making, like for instance this, I will put them in a Ziploc bag and freeze them. And they freeze wonderfully, and then you can use them again when you're ready for them. So that's kind of my little trick is I've always got a little bit of beans in my freezer that are available for adding into another recipe in a later time.
When you
So,
take those beans for a later time, do you
yeah.
keep them out for a while, or can you just put them in? When
It,
you need them, take them out and defrost them a little?
it depends on what you're doing. For a recipe
Yeah.
like this, I would take them out and defrost it. If I'm making like a soup and the soup's going to cook for a bit, you can just plop the
Toss them
frozen,
in.
yeah,
Great
pop
idea.
it out of the bag. So we have some green bell pepper that I've chopped. So we put that in. That adds some nice flavor and crunch. Some fresh parsley. I tend to like flat leaf parsley, but it can be curly parsley. And then some chopped, onion. Some went on the table. It can be sweet onion, even if it's not sweet onion. One of the little tricks that I use is I chop it and then I run some water. I put it in a fine mesh strainer and I run water through it and it gets that kind of a raw onion bite out of, if you're going to do a raw salad, sometimes that onion can stay with you for a couple hours. So that's just a little tip. If you're not a big raw onion fan, or if you don't digest it well, you can just strain it put it in a strainer and run water through it. So that's what I did for this. And then we're just going to toss it. I wanted to show you too. This calls for some garlic. And one of the favorite ways we're going to put it in the dressing, I'm just going to toss this and move this aside, is it says, so the dressing is, and it's right here, I've combined it. So I've got 3 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 garlic clove, which I haven't put in yet because I want to talk it through a little bit, some mustard light vinegar, which is apple cider vinegar, or you could do rice vinegar. Those are the 2 that I kind of go for when I say light vinegar. Sometimes I have a light balsamic vinegar in my house, but right now I don't. That's kind of more specialty. But that has a nice mild flavor. It's actually a delightful flavor. And then I put in a little agave. You could do just cane sugar, agave, and then salt and pepper. So I haven't put the salt and pepper in. So I just have all of the liquid ingredients in the mustard. But I wanted to show you what I do with garlic. So I've got this big fat clove of garlic here. And you can I put pressed or minced. So I'm not sure if you've ever seen like a garlic press. This is a well-used garlic press. So you can press it through and it'll come out through these pukas. So then you're not eating big chunks of garlic. The other thing you can do, and what's really neat about it is I think I want to show you how to grate it. But what you can do is if you have a garlic press that has these little bumps on this side, it can actually go through and clean out all the stuck garlic after you've pressed it, because usually it keeps part of the skin stays behind. So it's just a nice way to run it underwater and it'll poke it out. The other way you can do it with garlic is you can take if you happen to have this tool in your kitchen, which is like a cheese zester or a lemon zester, you can also,
Microplane, yeah?
thank you, microplane, you zester. You can also grate garlic and ginger with this, and it's really wonderful. So I tend to grate my garlic down to where it gets to be kind of little humbug. But
Take
on
the
the
skin
back
off,
side,
right?
yeah,
Before you,
right.
yeah.
Yes, take the skin off. But then you've got, look at that beautiful paste, garlic paste right
Wow.
there. I don't know if you can see it, but anyways, it's just a nice way to get some garlic integrated into the dressing without having big chunks.
And it really melts into your sauces in that way and really did kind of with a nice flavor. Chef, do you know the trick of after you've done cut up or done a lot of garlic, when you wash your hands, if you have the stainless steel like on your sink, if you rub your hands on it, the smell of garlic disappears from your hands. I
Ooh,
could tell
thank
you,
you
I'll
so
give that a
much.
try. It's amazing. Little science there.
Okay, I will. I
Don't know
will.
the science behind it, but it sure is great when
It
that raw
works, huh?
garlic smell is gone.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I'm just going to whisk this together. And then, you can, before you mix this in, pour it over your beans. You could actually taste this and see if you need it to be a little more sweet or a little more mustardy or a little more garlicky or salty. It's always, I firmly believe in adjusting flavors to taste. That's kind of like what I put on recipes because everyone has different taste buds and likes different things. Allison, I think you're a big vinegar person, right? So
Yes,
you
I
might
am.
want,
I like it
why you
vinegary.
might, right. So you might want to drop the oil a bit and add more vinegar or mustard, Everybody has their own ways of eating. All right, so I'm just going to toss this, let it coat everything, and then pretty much you just put it in the fridge and let it continue the flavors to meld and soak in. Nice and easy, huh?
I think what's nice about this
Yum.
is it tastes delicious almost instantly, and then it even
Mhm.
tastes better the next day. Like this is
Right,
one that just, it's so hearty. The beans hold up well. It's like sometimes when we have a salad, the next you don't want to save it because it's wilted. This one
right.
just continues to have that nice crunch. It's beautiful. Looks great in your bowl, chef. Nice.
Yeah, those
Looks great.
bright bowls. Love them. Okay, so that's our first recipe, nice and
All
simple.
right.
And I think I remembered all my little tips.
Do you guys think that's something you could make? I mean, look at how quick and easy that
Yeah, that'd be
was.
very easy.
Yes,
While you guys
that's
are answering that, I'll pull up
yeah.
the
Pull up the
PowerPoint so we
next
can look at
one.
the
Our
next
next,
one.
yes.
Next one is the curry.
Yeah. And I'm excited about this because you can buy these great curry pastes. Like I got one from KTA because I saw someone do it, and then I get really intimidated. I'm like, do I cook the vegetables first? Can I cook it in it? So I'm so excited to have you teach us about this one, Chef. All right. So when
Okay, so
it comes up there, it's
oh,
on, and there we go.
okay, and I'm going to bring my burner up, get it
Yeah.
situated, see if it'll cooperate. Okay, and
Oop, sorry,
open
I
up the
put the three bean
flavors.
salad again. I'll put up the right one.
Okay.
Here we go.
What
Let
a
me get the right
healthy,
one.
quick way, right? To just pull together things within maybe what, 10 minutes. Even if you're tired at the end of the day, you just whip out the cans of beans and put them in and
Right.
get the dressing, and you can have a really healthy meal within, a short amount of time. So love that.
Mhm, mhm.
So fresh.
All right, there we go. Do you want
So,
me to read it or you got it, Chef?
oh, you can read it. That'd be
No,
great.
up to you if you're preparing. If you're there, I just
You,
wasn't sure.
you go for it.
Okay, I'm just so excited as she's setting it up. As you guys see, you use 1 to 2 tablespoons of light oil. You've got some onions, 2 cups of tomato. I love that it's fresh or canned. If they're canned, they're drained. I'm hoping you'll talk to us a little bit about, it says 2 teaspoons of curry powder, and I'm going to put a
Yes.
side note, want to know what you think of the paste. This one has 2 cans of chickpeas drained, some water, some salt, and a little cilantro if you like it for taste. And I'm going to let Chef kind of tell us what she's going to be doing with that.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
So I bear with me in the sense that I'm not always. I don't do this burner thing very often, so we'll see how quickly it heats up. So we're going to saute the onions first. And again, I did a little bit of the chopping and rinse and drain. Uh, so I'm going to let that get started. Yeah, I had Roma tomatoes, and my Roma tomatoes, it turned out, so I said 2 cups. This was really like, depending upon your size of your Roma tomatoes, this was like 2.5 tomatoes. It's amazing. I thought maybe it'd be 4 Roma tomatoes, right? Half a cup per Roma, but just sometimes it helps for the guide, right? You know, how much is 2 cups of tomatoes? So I've got my fresh tomatoes cut up. I've got my chickpeas that I soaked and cooked overnight, which they should mash really well. I'm gonna get
Can I
my,
ask you, as you're doing that, when
yes.
you, since we're in our bean and press the button, when you soak and cook them, do you put anything in the water with it, or you just are soaking it in water and letting them cook and you season them later?
I am just soaking it and then cooking it just by itself. When I soak it,
Yep.
I drain the water. And then when I drain the water, I add fresh water. Sometimes what I'll do if I want to kind of speed things along is I have one of those hot water kettles. I'll heat up some water and pour it over the bean. And then that'll bring it up to heat quicker. And then with chickpeas, they tend to foam a lot. So I don't add bay leaf. I always like add bay leaf to my chickpeas because it helps with I guess taking away the indigestible
Help.
gassy products that beans can have. Um, so I let it come to a boil and it will foam a while. I scoop off the foam maybe 2 or 3 times, bring to a boil, I scoop off the foam. Then I add the bay leaf, make sure there's, you know, like an inch of water above it, and then I close the Instant Pot and do
Perfect.
it like that. Yeah,
And just for everyone, you can use the can, not an issue,
that,
but for some of us, we're trying to step into the next level and go, all right, I'm going to try this. So thank you, Chef.
yeah, you are welcome. So I made this nice and simple, this recipe, because again, that is the topic tonight. Um, but if you're doing, so we're just doing curry powder. If you wanted to like expand out and you cook a lot, one of the things you can do is for a traditional chole, you can add diced green chili. See, am I showing it correctly? Diced green chili. I grated ginger, I grated garlic. Those would be components that would go into if you wanted to expand it out. If you happen to have mustard seeds, I don't know if you're familiar with mustard seeds. There's black and brown mustard seeds, not the yellow ones that go in mustard, but there's like mustard seeds you can put in and it'll pop. Just some fun options. Because I cook a lot, I tend to have more things than probably most households do. I just wanted to share that with you. So I've got my onions going. They're starting to soften. Okay, I'm going to add in my tomatoes. I'll turn the heat up a little bit. Smells delicious. And I'm going to turn it up, yeah, and the curry powder. If you happen to have in your house cumin or turmeric, also known as Alena, you can add that in here too, a little bit. You know, you could do like a quarter to a half a teaspoon in addition. Again, taste it and see if you feel like it needs a little bit more curry flavoring. But
And
most, I mean, I would think most houses might have curry powder in it versus having mustard seeds and cumin seeds and all those other kind of more
And
exotic.
I kind of agree with you. I think, if you start, if we're new to curries, get the curry powder, start there, and then there's the joy. You'll get excited. There's green, there's red, there's yellow. There's all kinds of beautiful curries, prepared
Right.
pastes, make your own. But
Oh,
this
okay.
is a
So
good start.
yeah, so your paste is it like a Thai curry paste
Yes,
or
and
is it?
I'm going to get it and I'll tell you what it is. I'll be right
Okay.
back.
So what I have is a Frontier curry, or you could get McCormick, you know, anything from like Safeway or, you know, the grocery store. This is a curry powder. And then I've got my chickpeas. And I'm going to add a little bit of water. And I'm going to turn this up high and some salt.
I know as you guys are cooking, you're probably right. It is probably a tie. I will try to see if you can see it on my, I don't know if here I will come. I'll come for a second to add this in for everyone. See if you can see
Oh yeah,
this.
my
This one.
ploy and
Yeah.
yeah,
Is that, can
yeah,
you guys see that?
There, now we
that's
can. Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
So
that's
that's
a
just
good
a different
one.
one. You know, it was because someone had tried having it and I thought it was delicious. And they said, well, you know, you don't have to make it all from scratch. So that's the thing. Just get curious and
Mm-hmm.
start with getting curry powder and trying it just like this. So look how beautiful that looks.
Yeah, and that one lasts a while. I'm gonna put the lid
Yes.
on for a few minutes. So when I buy those big ones, those Thai ones, I tend to like share with friends. I'll put some in like a snack Ziploc, you know, and then they can keep it in their freezer or fridge. Because you only like really need like a tablespoon at the most, right? When you're making it. It's just too bad they don't make smaller tubs of that. It's
Well,
delicious
I
flavored.
was laughing as you were talking about when you use a bit of your beans and then freeze the rest. I think you would win a prize for all of us who have tried those, you know, with the tomato paste and you open and you need 1 tablespoon and then you have that can. What do we do? I'm happy with the tube ones, but it's
I
the
freeze
same.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, you do.
I
You can
do.
freeze
I
that. Oh,
do. I
good.
transfer it to like a little Tupperware, one of those little small, or a Ziploc bag.
I do
Ziploc
that
bags are
too.
good because you can
Mm-hmm.
break it, right?
Yep, yep. I
Yeah,
put it
Great
in one
tips.
tablespoon
Yeah.
things in a
yeah.
Tupperware and I've got it in the back of the freezer. Because you usually
Yeah.
just need 1 tablespoon or 2 tablespoons. Yep.
Yes.
And along that lines, yeah, we can expand on this chickpea chole recipe. Yeah, you could add if you're doing fresh tomatoes and you want it to be a little
Yes.
deeper flavor. I've got this, like what you're talking about, the concentrated tomato paste from Whole Foods. I love this. This is a great, I don't even know how long it,
I didn't even
but
know
you
that
don't,
existed. I'm going to get
Yeah,
that
yeah,
next
tomato
time.
paste in the
product
tube
of
is
Italy.
wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, best before. It's got to be. Oh, it says November of 2027. This is a great thing to have in your fridge. That
Yeah.
lasts a while. But the other thing you can do for this, if you like spicy food, is you can add like a little cayenne, or like, well, like I said, or if you happen to have, I don't always very often have a green chili powder, but I mean chili pepper, but I did buy this just to show for the class. You could add that to spice it up, a serrano chili, that's a spicy fresh chili. Or there is like Kashmiri chili, again, if you are expanding out your spices. That's one that has a nice kick. So our goal here is to cook down the tomatoes, kind of have like almost like a gravy sauce kind of consistency. You can add more liquids if you want. I mean, the water just to kind of sauce it, make it saucy. This is traditionally, or I'd say more often than not, served with a kind of like a deep fried chapati. It puffs up. It's called puri, and then they eat this um, kind of with the hands. And so it's kind of gravy, but it's not like really, really wet because they eat it, scoop it up with that bread. Um, so it's a popular dish. But you can you see how it's kind of cooking down?
Yeah,
And
nice and hearty.
yeah, you can mash the chickpeas so they get, kind of thickens the sauce too, a little bit. And this is ready. You can just, we can add the, sorry, trying to, trying to navigate my space here. The cilantro. I've got all the nice cilantro.
And
I
again, you
personally
guys,
like,
if you have questions, please chat them in. We can ask
yeah,
them to chef for you.
I personally like this with, like, basmati rice or jasmine rice, it's just wonderful. I mean, look how, and again, this is the same way where the flavors will meld, so the next day when you reheat this, you're going to have delicious, delicious chickpea curry.
And so a great economical meal. right? Like
Yeah,
how
right.
little it
Yes.
costs to make
Mm-hmm.
something that feeds your
Mm-hmm.
family.
Well, I love that this
Mm-hmm.
has a base recipe really, and then you've just, given us so many different ideas on ways to
Right.
personalize it
You can
depending
squeeze a
upon what you
lemon
have
at
in
the
your
end.
home.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and
So it's
again,
kind of,
pretty quick.
right, right. So, okay, so I'm gonna move this aside and
Oh,
we've
any
got the,
questions, you guys?
Yeah,
Yeah.
move to the net. We can put up the next one too. Any questions about the curry? Any
Mm.
questions about our chili? I'll
I
let
love
her
that we've
get,
kind of got a cold salad. We've got something warm and hearty. We've kind of
yes.
got like all layers of the spectrum of different quick and easy meals. So let me pull back up the PowerPoint so we can look at this last recipe for the evening.
Yeah,
All
we really
right.
do have all different kinds right here, from like a stew type for to a salad to now fritters. How fun is this? You're giving us the
Yeah,
spectrum.
I
well,
know.
the one thing that's nice about the fritters is, you don't have to cook them all up at once. You can make this mix kind of along the lines with the tofu patties, right? And you can cook them up as you're ready for them. Or you can do the other way or cook them all and then just reheat them. So you've got the options to go both ways.
And are you guys chat in? Does this feel like these are easy recipes you could try that if you were like a little having no time to make a dinner and all of a sudden you can look in your cupboard, I've got this. This is possible. I think these are doable for you. And maybe it's a little out of your comfort zone. I'm really happy you're made a chili because I always, or not a chili, a curry. I was always really scared to try it. And I mean,
Ah,
there was nothing to it.
well,
I
that's
love it.
great.
Yeah. All right. I'm
Okay.
going to let you read these for us if you want to,
Okay.
Chef, unless you're busy.
Yeah.
I don't want
Nope, I'm good. I'm
to.
just gonna
Okay.
take this off the heat so it doesn't get too
Yes.
hot. So, this is one where you shred carrots and zucchini. And then you mix it with some chickpeas and some spices. So we have onion powder, cumin, garlic powder, some salt, and it calls for an egg, or like I made a flax egg, so we'll talk about that. What does that mean? And then you mix this together with green onions. One little part of this recipe is when you grate zucchini, you put a little salt on it. You let it sit. I put it in a fine mesh strainer and just let the salt kind of take out because zucchini's kind of watery. So I got a lot of liquid out of that zucchini. So 1 cup of grated zucchini turned into this little mass of still a little wet, but grated zucchini that has the liquid taken out of it. And then some chopped green onions.
We do have
So
a couple questions when you're done reading this, if
yes,
that's okay
I'm
about this. You ready?
yes,
We had a question with the fritters. Can you use an egg replacement?
yes, that's what I did. Or
Okay.
you could do a dry egg replacement, like Bob's Red Mill has one. There's quite a few dry ones, which you could, yes, it's like a dry powder that you add some water to, and it gets viscous, kind of like an egg white. You can whisk it together, and that would work too for a binder.
Fantastic. Next question was, can you use avocado oil or do you have to use
Yes,
olive oil?
I am using avocado oil. What does that say? Does it say, no, this is cooking oil.
No.
Yes, I have
Yep.
avocado oil. Yeah,
Great questions. You guys keep them coming.
okay. So I am going to put this here. I've got it kind of on low heat because I want to, let's see, can you see what I'm going to turn this off and I'll put a cutting board on top. Would that help? And then we can do it, the bowl. I think that'll work. Let me try. Let's see how creative I can get here.
There we
So
go.
I've got
Whatever is
a
best for
cutting
you,
board on
Chef.
top of a cutting board on top of a, okay. I know that's a little high, but
No, it's good, but could you push the bowl a little more towards, there you go. Just, no, the other way, straight towards yeah, there you go. Just like that. So we could see everything go in. Perfect.
okay, but
That's perfect. If that works,
oops,
that's,
sorry, it's off the burner, so I don't want it to.
oh
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. Okay, so bottom line is we're going to mix everything together now that we've got it all portioned out. And then I'm going to get my hands in there and really kind of mix it up because a couple things that, you know, depending upon what you're using, again, these chickpeas that I soak and cook up, they're really soft and mashable. But if you get like a can of chickpeas, I tend to buy a lot of my, I like to buy organic because I cook for people who've got health issues, but that's another little side topic. But I tend to buy organic produce just because I'm cooking for people who have, they're immunocompromised. I buy a lot of beans from Target because they're really, the price point is really good. But the Target chickpeas and the chickpeas I found from Whole Foods and Safeway, they tend to be harder. And so in this recipe, it might be good to either use a potato masher to kind of break them down a bit, or use a food processor to lightly food process them. So just little options here, depending upon what you have and what you're working with. So what I'm going to do is I've already gotten the liquid out of my chickpeas. So it says add shredded zucchini in a mesh set over a bowl. So we already did that. I talked it through. I got the liquid out, and then we're going to put the chickpeas in here. So this is the mixing bowl. Okay, I've got my chickpeas. And then I am going to mash it or see if I can I'm going to take this off for a minute. We want to mash it so that it's cohesive, you know, that it's a good binder. But we also don't want it to be like a paste, you know? We want it a little chunky. Okay. So that, I don't know if that helps, but there's some chunky mashed chickpeas. Okay, and then I'm going to add in the zucchini, the carrots. I'm actually going to use a gluten-free flour blend. So I have that. I have all of the seasonings, garlic, onion, salt, and cumin all here together. So I'm going to put them in. I've got my flax egg. So my flax egg is, I tend to like golden flax meal. I grind my own flax, but I buy golden flax seeds. And then you add 2 tablespoons of water. So it's 1 tablespoon of ground flax meal and 2 tablespoons of water. So you can see it makes a, I want to say gloppy paste, but that probably doesn't sound too good, right?
I like the egg-like substitute. I
It
love
makes
it.
an egg-like substitute. Thank you very much.
I like the gloppy too. It's a nice, good word. We can be creative.
Okay, so we've got the zucchini, we've got some green onions, I've got my carrots. I'm not, I don't know if I can put all those carrots in. Let me see. That looks like a lot of carrots. I don't know if that was more than a cup. So, and then I'm going to mix this and then add in the flour. So I'm just going to visually see what I got here.
And as you're going, you know, for everyone who's been really making changes to their lifestyle, we often talk about if you're looking at that healthy plate and you see a lot of color looking back at you, you're going in the right direction. And what I love about all these foods tonight, Chef, is how colorful and beautiful they are. You can almost
Ah,
feel the nutrients jumping out at us.
mm-hmm. And these I've made before, and oh, they were just delicious. And I made them like little sliders. And then I was making for somebody who was dairy free. So I made like a raita, like a cucumber, coconut yogurt, fresh dill sauce, you know, that they could dollop on. And then they ate it in like Boston lettuce cups or Manoa lettuce. It was really, turned out really nice. Okay, so this is our flour. I'm going to just see how it mixes as we go along. There's a lot of variables here, yeah. The zucchini, the type of flour, the
Yep.
chickpeas,
And
but
I had
they're
a
holding.
question. Yeah,
Yes.
can you make it with different beans?
Yeah, I would think so. Cannellini beans probably would be nice. You could also use, if you have chickpea flour in your house. I'm a big fan of chickpea flour. This could be the binder instead of like a gluten-free flour or all-purpose flour. Okay, that seems like that's looking pretty well holding together. Okay, so at this point, I will heat up my pan. And I have a nonstick pan here today.
Is whole wheat flour an option as well, Alyssa?
You could, yeah.
Mhm.
It's got a little bit more, it's more dense, a little more greenier, but yeah, you could do it. So I'm going to put a little bit of avocado oil. Is that okay, or do you want me to move this? Did it shift?
No, it looks great. I have
Stop,
I have
don't do
two
it.
screens going. You look fantastic. So we
Okay,
have a
okay.
double vision there.
Okay, so I've got the nonstick pan going, and then I have a little bit of a basting brush, because sometimes it can tend to pool because it's nonstick. It can kind of pool in one area. And I'm going to put this over here. I don't make a mess. Okay, so you can use like a scoop. This is kind of a big scoop, but if I use a small one, I guess I could do it like sliders, yeah? My second size is like this. Actually, this is the one I like to use the most.
Yeah, I like it. I like the variety. I like that with kind of like the last one, you have different meals in one.
Yeah,
Like
it'd
you can
be
have it
like the burger
alone,
bun
have it,
size.
yeah,
Yeah, this is a slider size.
sliders, fritters, in a lettuce
Fritters.
cup alone. There's so many options. Look at how she makes it so beautiful, Heather. If I tried to do it,
I know. Well, I
I
just
don't think it
reminding
would,
myself I
yeah.
got to get some of these little scoopers. I got to put that on
Yes.
my list, you know. They
Oh,
come in so
yeah,
handy.
they are so wonderful. Yeah, so you can see it's just, you want to cook them for about 3 to 5 minutes on each side. Um, my hands are goopy, but I can see that I'm just going to,
They almost look like crab cakes without their,
yeah,
the
right?
color. See, we don't need it. All these vegetables,
Oh,
beautiful.
wouldn't Old Bay seasoning be nice in here? I
That
love
would
Old
be,
Bay
Oh,
seasoning.
yeah, that's a good idea
yeah.
too.
Yeah,
Yep. And just as a
okay.
reminder, you guys, think of all the plant-based protein, right? So many times we get asked
Yes.
about protein, and I don't know if you have any of those cans available, how much protein is available in each of these chickpeas, right? Just like a little bit of like 8 grams of protein, plus all the fiber that you get, and even plants have protein as well. So yeah, it's a full meal.
I'm gonna just get a little pan to turn it. Let me see how hot this is running. Not bad.
This is what it says as she's looking. It says chickpeas are a great source of protein, offers about 14.5 grams of plant-based protein per cooked cup. And
Hmm.
so that's amazing. There is a lot of protein in there. I'm getting sold on chickpeas here, Chef Alyssa.
Oh,
I might have to get a few more. I'm going to try
and
my
yeah,
Instapot and press the bean.
there you go. Um, I have in my fridge right now that I got for something else I was making, was like a vegan pesto. So I thought that would be nice. Mix some pesto, even with a little bit of that coconut yogurt, or I don't know, what could I mix pesto with? Or just do a dollop on this. That might be nice. Little flavor. Oh, that's nice. The brown.
I
Oh,
think what's
that's
so
nice.
nice with what you show us is that, often we get so scared we have to follow things so tightly, and you make it that just try, just have some fun, enjoy, look at the colors, look at what you can make so simply. Right here, it has only been 40 some minutes, and we've got three different great meals.
Wow. I
Yeah,
just blazed through that.
it's great. No, 45, you're doing perfect. It's just great.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is with this, like you saw, just kind of have the recipe has, add this, but if you feel like, oh, that looks like that's too much carrots for the mix, you're gonna need to add all the carrots. Or, if your flour is already binding or your egg replacer is doing a good job, just kind of just eyeball it and see how it feels and what you think.
And
And
this
just
would be
so
a
many,
really
yeah.
easy
Go ahead.
thing to make a double batch of too, right? If you want to meal
Mhm.
prep for a period of time, and you could keep them in the fridge and just have them throughout the week ready to go. Yeah, I
Yeah,
could see that as
yeah.
well. You
Mhm.
could reheat them
Just
easily in the microwave or the air fryer if you want it a
Right,
little
in the air
crispy.
fryer, definitely. And again, you don't have to pan fry these, but they'll give them, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll do an initial pan fry just to get them brown, and then I'll put them on parchment paper and bake them off, you know?
yeah.
So that's another way. So they're not like, you don't have to keep using oil or, they're sitting in oil. They get that initial crispness and then they go in the oven.
Like 100, 350 for what? 10,
Yeah,
15 minutes,
just one
20?
depends upon, yeah,
Yeah,
the
how
size,
many?
but
Yeah.
yeah, usually around 15, 20 minutes, just eyeball them.
And there's so what I love about the variety tonight, the textures, the different type of flavors, the different, you might feel like cold, you might feel like something hearty, and we just get stuck sometimes. We think, oh, what am I going to make? And just a little bit of change, challenge yourself, try something
Mhm.
different. That's why we love this class. It really gives us some ideas that we might not have thought of before.
Right.
And I think like you were saying too, Allison, just the affordability, right? I mean, a can of beans is like, $2. You got some carrots in there, and that's not usually too expensive. I mean, this I think is a pretty affordable and healthy meal. Because I know for a lot of us, cost is a consideration for sure.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
And
Mm-hmm.
I agree. These scoops are so nice, and the small. Look at they still seem they're pretty big. They look, they're a good size, good serving.
Mhm.
Yes, you're
Yeah.
making us hungry. We're all ready to eat.
And a good way to, if you cook up a big pot of chickpeas, here you go. Here's 3 easy ways you can use them. Add some variety,
That's
right?
true. Yeah, that's true. You have a lot of variety for the week. If you just, Instapot a whole bunch of chickpeas at once and you got 3 different variations for the week and you're set. I
Yeah.
love
My
The
that.
other,
mind is clicking away for next year's
Uh-huh.
classes, Chef
yeah.
Yeah.
Alyssa.
The other thing too is I believe I said it earlier, but I soaked too many beans. So I drained it and I put the soaked chickpeas in the freezer. So I can then just bring them to room temperature and cook them off. The other thing is, the leftover chickpeas I have now, I can pop those cooked in the freezer. Probably just label soaked, uncooked, cooked, you know, but
Perfect.
it's great to be able to have the options, especially like if you're making there's a couple that I make soups a lot for, blended soups. And things like beans, you can blend them in a soup and they add protein, but they also thicken the soup, instead of like doing cream or something, the beans are a great thickener. Chickpeas and cannellini beans, they're wonderful for thickening up soups.
Great point. Yeah. All right. Any questions, you guys?
Are you feeling motivated? You feeling like you got it? Now she's finishing that up. I know we're kind of getting to towards the end of our class. We can, I'm going to add Heather just
Yeah.
in our flyer for the rest of, just in case you don't have it, I'm going to put it in for our
Oh, yeah.
culinary medicine series
Mm-hmm.
for the classes that are coming up. I'm just going to put that in as well.
Yeah, and maybe
So
what I'll
yeah.
do is I can just kind of pull that up while those are finishing frying, and then we'll round back up to the finished product. What do you think, Allison?
Good
Can we
idea.
do that?
Let's do
Okay.
it.
Let me just pull this up and we'll kind of share some of the resources to support you guys.
And
All
what our
Here we
next
right.
go.
class is? Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, and
Yeah.
what our next
Next
class is.
class.
Speaking of which, right? So our next
Yeah.
class, we do this every, what is it, fourth
Fourth
Thursday of
Thursday
the
of the
month.
month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're moving into a new season. So even though it might still be kind of temperature warm on the outside, we got fall soups and stews. So we start moving into that mindset and looking at what foods are most prominent during that fall season. So we hope that you'll join us for that one as well. And as a reminder, as Allison said in the beginning, we have classes in September, October, November. We take a break for the month of December. So we only have 3 more classes left for this year. So we hope that you'll be joining us with that. And if you're looking for a little support and encouragement with implementing, whether that's with the cooking or maybe some other areas of your life with, right, getting moving, shopping differently, managing stress, all of these areas are so important to our well-being. So we've got a whole team of wellness coaches, I should say, that are dedicated to supporting you in that with some goal setting. It's all done over the telephone. You can either register on kp.org, or you can call that number on the screen here to get that scheduled. And then in addition to this class, we have a lot of other classes we hope you'll check out. We offer them every month. They are all virtual, just like this one. As I mentioned in the beginning today, we've got the Get Your Plate in Shape class taught by our registered dietitians. That's a great starter class if you're just moving into healthy eating. We've got the Viva Veggies class, which is very complimentary of what we're doing here in the effect that it's all about plant-based eating, and our dietitians again are going over the why we might want to move in that direction and all the many health benefits that we can get from it. Like I said, the only diet proven to reverse disease. So we hope you'll take advantage of all of these classes here, and we thank you for being here today. And with that, unless you want to add anything else, and don't want to
No, I was going to
leave you
say,
out. Yeah,
let's end it with Chef's
okay.
beautiful
Let me pull
food. And
this
you
down.
guys, I'm hoping that you're feeling motivated. We appreciate for all the people who take the time to
Wow, look at
come and
that.
join us. Chef Alyssa, thank you so much for making food that is so beautiful and
Oh,
so
you're,
doable. That's what I really do
you are
love.
welcome. We got a lot
Yeah,
done in a half
We
an hour. Oh,
did.
in an hour.
right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's pretty much 3 different recipes and meals. And, I love that we had the common thread of chickpeas throughout all of it.
Yeah.
So unintentional,
And
but it still worked out that way.
Unintentional, it
Yeah.
happened. But
Uh,
And that all of these, like, they only get better as leftovers. I mean, that's what
yeah,
I
I love
love.
that too.
Taste delicious there, but these are going to taste
Uh,
better the next day too.
mm,
yeah. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, and then Ben was asking, do we need to sign up for the rest of the year? And I believe you do not, that once you're registered, you'll continue to get the
What?
links to join the live class.
Uh,
And then in addition to that, you'll also get the link to the recording.
well, if you're in
Mhm.
doubt, it depends on how you signed up because it depends on who signed you up. Some people get signed up for the whole year, but some people don't. So if you're in doubt, Ben, I'm going to put this phone number in and you could always give a
Mhm.
call and say, hey, I want to make sure I'm in the culinary medicine till the end of the year. Um, I just know the only reason I stopped you, Heather, is I've only
Ah.
sometimes scheduled people in a few. I don't always put them till the end of the year.
Oh, I think John moves
Yeah.
it forward
Oh,
every
he
month.
does.
Mhm. Yeah, I
Oh,
think
you
so.
guys. So everyone, if you've
Mhm.
been here for a while, are you getting every month the link? That's great to know. I learned something tonight. So
But yeah,
don't
for those of
call.
you that are frequent flyers, you can let us know. Have you re-registered each month? But I think they just automatically do it. And then if you miss a month, you can still get the link to the recording, which everybody will get from today as well. You can
Great to
rewind,
know.
right? Yeah. How did she mash those chickpeas again? Let me fast forward to that part.
ah,
Ah, well, thank you, Chef Alyssa. This was just
thank
a
you.
delight as
Yeah, it was
always.
fun.
Such creative and easy recipes. Love the variety that we had in our class tonight and all these healthy ingredients. And with that, you guys, we're gonna open up for any questions. We love to hear feedback from you, and we hope to see you next month when we talk about fall soups and stews. But have a great
Mhm.
evening.
Thanks for joining us. Always glad to see our familiar names, glad to see people new. And
Mhm.
Chef, always happy to see you, but every time I'm so hungry when class is done, I'm like, I just want to grab it. So
Yes. Any questions?
Chef, I'm going to have you look
Oh,
straight at me just
good.
because I want to take a picture of this. Perfect. Yeah, look at that. Great. Thank you.
Oh, good. Well, Chef, we already have somebody saying they can't wait to try those fritters. So
Oh,
you've
yay.
sparked some inspiration. All
Awesome.
I
right.
know.
Darren says,
And
thank you. Looks so good.
it really
Oh,
does. I'm
welcome.
excited to try I just didn't realize all you need is a couple of tablespoons of curry powder, and that's it. I was
Mhm.
just always thinking there was just more
Very
to it and
involved. Yeah.
very involved. And so, all right, I've got no
Uh,
excuse.
it's nice. My brother-in-law's family is from Ohio, and they have the Amish nearby, and they have a place that has all sorts of spices. I guess you can just go in and buy them. And so I
Oh,
always have my sister get the curry powder from there, and it's so delicious. Just a really
Wow.
wow.
unique flavor of the curry powder that I really enjoy.
Wow.
So yeah, there's different varieties or
Yes.
types of
Yeah,
curry powder in
really.
each one. Some of them are sweet, some of them are not,
Hmm.
and that can be delicious
Yeah,
too.
it's fun. It's fun to
Mm-hmm.
try different ones.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So happy cooking to everyone. Chef,
Thank
you're going
you.
to have your neighbors knocking on the door. That's all I can
Yeah.
say. That smells are
Okay.
coming through. I hope
Yeah,
you're
lots
going to
of.
have food to eat for tomorrow, tonight. Hope you
Yeah,
enjoy your
yeah,
dinner.
yeah, food to share. Thank you.
Uh,
Take care.
okay. Thanks,
Have a good
everyone.
Okay,
Have a good
night. Bye
evening. Aloha.
bye.
bye.
Bye-bye.